What's happening, Wisdom Warriors of Light? Back at it for another video. How's everybody doing today? Happy Sunday. Well, what do you think today is? The Sunday sermon. Who's ready for the Sunday sermon? I know I am. It's always a great time. And this is going to be packed full of interesting, amazing content that can help us evolve and grow. I hope you guys are enjoying the channel. I hope you guys are enjoying the improvements. And plenty more in the works to come. So stay tuned. My content, our content is just getting deeper and deeper as I go deeper within and heal within. The content's only getting better and more evolved as I evolve and as I grow and as I heal, and it's a beautiful thing, and I truly love it, and it's truly a magnificent thing. Like every day when you're receiving downloads and you just feel like you're being upgraded, and with new and better information that humanity's ready for. And I also just want to mention, please, if you haven't already and you found this video, please subscribe, please share, please comment, please like, because you're helping to grow this community. You're helping to bring us all together as like-minded individuals so we can help each other, man. We can help each other on these journeys that we're on. So that the next person watches the video can read your comment and realize I'm not alone. I'm going through this just like everybody else is. And it can feel very, very lonely on this journey. The more and more we can come together and unite together as one, like we are one and we are connected already, and get away from this dynamic that we're separate and we're divided and we're not one, and you're separate from me and I'm separate from you, and the more we can come together and unite, the better off we're all going to be, and we're going to create this beautiful new earth that we so all want. Deep down, our souls want this, and I see it more and more every single day, but it's hard to also see with all the darkness. But as the light gets brighter, the darkness gets brighter. The darkness becomes bigger and bigger as the light becomes brighter, and that's what's been happening essentially. So, I want to talk a little bit about a few different things we're going to explore in this sermon today, but something that has been weighing on me for a little while, that I notice a lot of people doing and a lot of humanity is doing, and we want to see change in the physical world, in the 3D, in the matrix, whatever the name you want to call it, the external world, because remember, it's external from us, from within here, but what's interesting about that is whatever you're experiencing within yourself is what you're going to experience in the external, and I talked about this on previous videos when I was living in Florida and I would go to the beach all the time, and depending on how I felt internally, the ocean reflected that. So depending on how I felt, if I felt very chaotic internally, when I showed up at the ocean was very chaotic. There was heavy waves, there was waves crashing. Then I would go to the ocean and I'd be feeling very peaceful internally, and the ocean would be completely flat. And I discovered this like 4 or 5 years ago, back in 2017, 2018, and it was being shown to me, for me to realize that whatever I'm feeling inside is what I'm going to see in the external, what I'm going to experience in the external. And people are getting so irate and angry and frustrated, and I understand that because I have been getting that way myself, because I'm like, man, this is taking way too long. But it is such a massive undertaking to shift everyone's consciousness essentially to the same place. Everybody has different beliefs. Everybody has limiting beliefs. Everybody has different traumas. They may be very similar, but they're different in the way that how they experienced it. for themselves. As I've spoke before, you could have been in a group of people that experienced a traumatic experience, but it was the same experience, but yet each and every one of you in that experience perceives it and sees it differently because of how it affected them. And not only the way that it affected them, but the traumas and the patterns and the limiting beliefs that they have. So that experience is gonna hit different for them than it's gonna hit compared to the way that it hits for you because of what you experienced growing up and throughout your life. So if you had trust issues and you had people that took advantage of you and manipulated you and abused you emotionally, mentally, and physically, and all these different things, versus somebody else that grew up in a beautiful way and had unconditional love and all this stuff, they're going to see that trauma or that experience in a different way. It's going to feel different. It's going to hit different for them than it's going to hit for you. So, that is happening on this massive scale with billions of people who have experienced everything so differently. Some may have experienced massive trauma physically, mentally, emotionally. Some may not. Some may had fully unconditional love from their parents. Others may have not. Others may have been left out in the cold, abandoned. There's so many millions of ways we've experienced life. And so we look at life completely different from the scope of our past, our present, and our future. And we look at it all differently. So then, I've spoke about this before, like you could be standing next to somebody and viewing the world, viewing situations that are occurring, but yet each of you standing in the same spot, right next to each other, side by side, will see the earth and the world in a different way. Like your world will be completely different, and that's why a lot of us will have confrontation or conversations and we don't understand each other, because we see that situation or that conversation in a different way based on our past, present, and future. So it's like it's never ever going to be the same. No matter what, no matter if you were standing here and you were experiencing the same incident that happened right in front of your eyes, you all will see it completely different. And your world will be completely different than someone else is standing right next to you. And that's why I've spoke about this topic before, about that we are essentially there's billions of Earths here, because every single one of us are viewing the plane and the planet, the Earth, in a different way. And we're feeling different, we're seeing it different, we're experiencing it different. So it's like we're not even on the same Earth. We don't see it differently. Like one person could see it in massive fear, from a massive fear standpoint, and another one sees it from a point of strength and courage and worth and value. And you guys could be standing right next to each other and had been friends for 20 years. And at the same time, it doesn't even matter because we're viewing it from our own lens. And it's really, really a interesting way to see things. And I started to look at this way months and months ago. Coconut water is amazing, man. Let me just tell you. And I found one that's very, very low sugar and organic. And it's 1:11 on the clock right now, 1:11. So, angels are around us. My dad's around us. My dad's in this video guiding me. My guardian angels are all in this room helping me bring this content to you all and what needs to come through. So where I'm going with this, and like I said, it's 1:11 on the clock. So look that up, what it means spiritually for you. So where I want to kind of go with this is, you know, we want to see all this change happen in the external. We want to see all this change occur outside of us, but yet we're not willing to go deep within. We're not willing to face our demons. We're not willing to heal, because that's the only way to get to the other side. You can't avoid it. You can't go around it. You can't bypass it. You can't high vibe out of it. You have to go through it. That is the only way to heal. That is the only way to the through the healing process. And until you do those things, and I'm not saying you personally, but a lot of individuals out there are hurt people that are hurting other people. And it's a sad state of affairs that we're currently in and have been in, because we put blame on these financial institutions. We put blame on the medical institutions. We put blame on the systems that are governing everyone. And these situations aren't going to change until we change. We have to do the work, each and every one of us. Okay? There's a lot of us that are doing it, but that's still not going to be enough. We're balancing things out, but it's still not enough. Everybody has to do the work and not numb out and distract and run and stay so busy to the point where you're running around with a chicken with your head cut off. I'm sorry, man. We came here, we incarnated here to heal. Not only heal ourselves, but heal the planet, heal Earth. And this is way bigger than all of us. And I didn't come here not to do that. It took me a very long time. It took me hitting rock bottom over and over and over again to finally realize, like, I'm on this spiritual path. I'm here to do good. I'm here to heal myself. I'm here to heal the planet. Because when I heal myself, I'm healing the planet at the same time. And I know that. And I know that I do want to come back and incarnate again, but incarnate in a way that we're not divided and we're not separate and we're not governed by all these controlling aspects of ourselves. Because essentially, everyone that you see is just a piece of you. We're all a piece of God. We're all one. We're all connected. So whether you like it or not, that person that may have done you wrong is you. You know, and I know that's hard to conceptualize. I know that's hard to take in. I know that's hard pill to swallow, but it is the truth. We all come from God. We're all one. We're all connected. And they're just parts of you that you don't want to see or you don't want to look at. You know, and of course, because that physical person that's doing wrong is outside of you, of course you're going to go right to, you did that and you suck and you're an ass and blah, 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 and blame, blame, blame. And what about us taking responsibility for where we are right now? All of us played a part in it, whether it was in this life or another one. Whether it was your ancestors or it was your grandparents or it was your parents, it doesn't matter. We all played a freaking part in where we are right now. So stop sitting here playing the victim and blaming others for what is going on and why we're where we are. Because we all have done it. We all play roles in feeding into these toxic relationships, toxic systems, whatever the case may be. We came here to create a new path. We came here to create something new. We came here to do something different. Because the only way that we're going to change the external is if we choose to do something new and different and go and create a whole new path. And I know that's what I'm here to do. I've been told numerous times already that I'm essentially creating the wheel, but in a new way. So it's already been done, but in a new way. You know, and I'm starting to understand more and more that I'm creating these new pathways. I'm going to tell you right now, from my dad passing last year to probably the last 2 to 3 years, I've completely done. Now, mind you, I'm going to tell you this from like point blank, from a kid, I have always done things the opposite from what everybody else is doing. That's a fact, okay? That's a complete fact, and I got lashback all the time. People didn't like me. People didn't want to be around me. I didn't have many friends. You know, I always found myself kind of the black sheep in every situation, family and everything, because I didn't do what everybody else was doing. And I didn't agree with it. I never understood why everybody's doing what they're doing and following everybody else, because I was meant to be a leader. I was meant to lead the charge in a new way. I was meant to bring people down a new path. I was meant to walk people down a completely new path. And that's not easy to do, because people want to see, like, they want to see it in front of them. They want to see the physical. They want to see, like, it already been done before they go down that unknown path, or wear that clothes that's never been worn before. You know, that type of clothing that no one else, a man wouldn't wear, but yet somebody created it, and now eventually it goes viral and everybody's doing it now. You know, or that new type of food. As an example, back in the 90s, we didn't have almond milk and, soy milk and coconut milk and all this stuff like we have now, non-dairy milks and cheeses and chocolates and all ice creams, and all this stuff didn't even exist really. You know, it wasn't even a thing. And now we have meatless burgers, and we have dairy-free everything. And now more and more people are gravitating towards plant-based. It never was a thing. My dad was doing it, and I was kind of learning from him, because we started eating very healthy in the 80s, in the 70s. I mean, he already knew sugar was bad, especially the sugars that are currently have been out there, and I was mad because, I wanted to fit in with everybody else, because I had no friends, and people would make fun of me because I brought a bagged lunch that was completely healthy, that had maybe fruit in it, and at the time wheat bread or grain bread or whatever, and people were eating white bread, and and I was eating organic stuff and different things like that as a little kid, but I didn't have friends, so I wanted to be accepted and loved, and so by me eating the junk food and poisoning myself because everybody else was doing it, that made me fit in, and you start to realize, man, what was I doing? The same thing with drinking and drugs and all those things that I was doing just to fit in and be accepted, and so I was poisoning myself to fit in and be accepted. And that's the sad state of affairs, that we do as kids. We want to fit in, we want to belong, so we'll do anything. And my dad was just trying to teach me a whole new way that nobody else was doing. And when he did go out and do it, and eat the way he ate because he had to bring his food with him, people didn't understand, and they ridiculed him and criticized him. And essentially made fun of him. A lot of people didn't even want to be around him. I mean, shit, I was back then in the 90s, man, we were having wheatgrass shots, green juices. It wasn't a real thing then, like it is now. But people want to magnetize themselves towards what everybody else is doing versus like what's right for you. What feels good to you. Not what the fuck everybody else is doing. Fuck what everybody else is doing. What are you doing that feels good to you? Forget about what everybody else is doing. Everybody else will be at the carnivals and the fairs eating funnel cake and fried Oreos and, drinking alcohol and, all this kind of stuff. And just because that's the norm, that I will be able to fit in with these friends that I've had forever, and I won't lose them because I'm doing things that they do versus doing what I want to do and losing my identity to them, and then resenting myself because I'm doing things I don't want to do, right? And it's like, these are all things that I was doing, and I'm sure a lot of us have been doing our entire lives. And now it's time for us to step in our power. And I'm going to tell you what, man, I'm wearing this shirt that says breathe on it, right? And I'm telling you right now, I've been breathing doing breath work for well over 2 years. I'm currently in multiple classes doing teacher trainings. And today, after I finish this video, I'm going to spend the rest of the day finishing, and not finishing, but continuing my teacher training. But I have so much more experience actually doing it. I'm going to tell you right now, it transformed my life. The more and more I think about it, before I was doing breath work, I had no self-worth. I had no value. I had no boundaries. My self-esteem was like you had to peel me off the ground. And now I'm doing podcasts. I got 300 some odd videos on YouTube. I got a project I'm working on, which I've mentioned to you guys, and I always put it in the description, spiritualbootcamp.net, which is a collaboration, and we're 21 podcasts deep on the website, spiritualbootcamp.net. All of these things I attribute to the breath work. I've moved trauma through. I've moved emotions through. I've been breathing I lay on that floor and breathe every single morning. I do Kundalini yoga, which is breath work and movement, for over 2 years. It's transformed my life. I would have never seen myself doing this. I was trying over the years, the last 5 years to 7 years, but I had so much insecurities and self-confidence issues, and it was extremely difficult to go live. I haven't gone live on here because I'm waiting, like I said, till we hit 500. I've made a commitment to, and maybe I'll do it a little bit sooner, but I want to get more subscribers so we have people in there that can share their stories, and we can get a conversation going. So I'm giving it to 500, and then I'm going to go live, and maybe I'll bring somebody on with me. Who knows? I don't know, but there's going to be a lot coming on this channel. And I just want you to understand and know that I was this little kid with red bushy hair, like a afro out to here, with thick ass bottle cap glasses. They were gigantic. They were so freaking thick. And I couldn't get a girlfriend if I wanted to. I had no friends. I was isolated. And it followed me into my adulthood. And I've had very little relationships. And when I did have them, they were very short, maybe the longest 6 months. And they weren't really, in my eyes, a real relationship, because it was like a fight to get to meet up with the person, you know. And so it's been an extremely hard, difficult road, but breath work has changed my life, along with so many other things that I'm doing. But more importantly, breath work is so profound and so powerful, and you can move stuff through you that you've suppressed and buried for so long in your life from a kid. And you begin to build self-worth, value, boundaries, self-esteem through breath work, everything. And I've noticed just in the last 6 months how much I've transformed. I mean, if you go back and you look a year ago when I was posting maybe one video, maybe every couple months, watch that video from a year ago. And then watch today's sermon and see how much of a difference I've transformed and I've changed mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, everything. And I owe that to breath work, a lot of it. And I use the breath every chance I get now, because it's our life force. It's what we used to come into this world, which was our first breath, and what we'll have when we leave. My dad took his last breath on the hospital bed. And I still can't, it's surreal that we're coming onto a year soon, in like a few months already. But I know that he's here, sitting right here on this couch with me right now. And I know that he's guiding me to get this message out to somebody. And I know that somebody needs to hear this. That we have to do the hard work. We have to do the difficult work. We have to stop running from it. We have to stop running from ourselves and running from the difficult conversations with people. We have to have those difficult conversations, because that's why you are not matching your frequency and your vibration, because you don't want to have the difficult conversations. You don't want conflict. You want to run from that. You want to run from yourself. You don't want to have confrontation. So you just figure, let me just dust it under the rug and run away. Let me just lean into my addictions to numb out, to distract. Let me just stay so busy. For what? You're missing out on all the beautiful things that life has to offer. The five senses: touch, taste, feel, hear, see. You're missing out on it by your head in your phone all the time, typing away or sitting in front of the computer. You're not experiencing all of it. Like my dad said, this life goes by like a blink of an eye. And you trust me when I tell you, when you leave this physical body, you will miss the physicality. You will miss hugging someone. You will miss touching someone. You will miss kissing someone. You will miss eating a piece of food. I promise you that, man. I'm getting chills as I tell you this, because I know that there's a large part of my life that I did that. And I've realized how magical this life really is, and what a blessing it is, and how grateful I am to be alive and be here in this physical body. So I urge you to do the difficult inner work, man. That's all it's trying to do, is tell you that. And then we go to these medical establishments and they want to medicate us and all this kind of stuff, because it's like a Band-Aid. It's like, let me just Band-Aid you. Versus like getting to the root cause, the core issue that you're dealing with, which is these emotions and feelings just want to be seen. They just want to be heard. That's it. That's as simple as it is. They just want to be seen and heard and felt. And once you do that, it moves through you. And now you've evolved, you've grown, and now you're on to the next thing. It's never going to end when we're here in the physical. We're continuing to evolve and grow and work through things. The healing process is a lifetime. But when you look at it differently, like I have, and I look at it as, I am here to heal. And I'm on this healing journey. I said it so many times over the last year, that I am here to do the hard work, the inner work, the tough work. Not only for myself, but for the planet, for the plane, for the earth, for everyone, for the world, for the galaxy. Because I know that if I come back, I don't want to come back to this. I want to come back to humanity living in harmony and peace and love and beauty and just experiencing all of this beautiful world like we're supposed to experience it. Not enslaved and in suffering and pain and survival mode and just our nervous systems on ramped up to the point where you're gonna just collapse. And I've experienced all of that. Burnout, adrenal burnout, you name it, I've experienced it. And I want to come back if I choose to come back. I want to be able to come back to this beautiful world where the masculine and feminine are balanced, where we're balanced. And we could enjoy these things in life that we're here to enjoy in a balanced way, where we're not addicted to it, but we can enjoy it. I can have that piece of cake and then I don't crave it anymore. And maybe, I won't have another piece for another year. But that's my choice, but I'm not going to be imprisoned to that piece of cake, where it's like the cake is running my life. No, that sounds funny, but it's the truth. A lot of these addictions are running our life. And they're in control, not us. And we're the ones that are supposed to be in control of it. And yet these addictions have control over us. And that's because humanity is not in balance. But we're getting there, guys. We're getting there, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting there. I promise you that. We have hit critical mass, and it's a beautiful thing. And there's no way going backwards. So it's just a beautiful thing, man. And I'm so grateful and so happy and so blessed to be here in the physical and be here on this beautiful earth with you all to go through this ascension process, this great awakening, this evolution in consciousness. I am so grateful to be a part of this with you all and walking this journey together with you all. I am so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful to be in this physical body that I want to take care of. I want to treat it with love and compassion and unconditional love. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope that it's helped you in your life in some way. Realize how important your purpose is here on this earth right now. Because it's just as important as every single one of us. No matter what you're doing, you have a purpose, and it's important as hell. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. You came here at this time for a big reason and a big purpose. I hope you got something out of this video. I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed today's sermon. Until next time, from my heart to yours, take care of yourselves and each other and have unconditional love and compassion for yourselves and kindness right now, because we need it. Our bodies are going through a lot of change. So please have unconditional love, compassion, and kindness for yourself, and rest as much as you need to. Please take care of yourselves. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. I love you all so much. I will see you soon in the next one. Let's go, Wisdom Warriors of Light. See you soon. I love you all. Until next time. Sunday sermon out. Wisdom Warriors of Light out.